Opponents of so-called hate crime laws point out that such laws often go far beyond merely covering violent crimes to punishing speech that some find offensive. One such case is that of David Ott, a husband and father of two who in 1996 was charged with a hate crime under a Wisconsin statute. The incident took place near his home in Madison at a local car wash.
I just heard the pastor talk about the issue of homosexuality in church, and so I was fairly charged up about it. When I got to the car wash, lo and behold, right in front of me is a fellow with a gay pride sticker in the back window of his car. So I thought, well, here's an opportunity to ask this guy some questions.
David also hoped to share with the man how he himself had been freed from homosexuality.
And so I went in the car wash and I started asking this guy some questions, and there was some friction up front. But we did have a little bit of a discussion.
After paying their bills, David continued the conversation outside, all the while holding his then 1.5-year-old son in his arms.
And I said, look, you know, maybe that was a little confrontational in there. I'm sorry about that. It's not my intention to offend you, but I would like to tell you this. I've been down this road before, and you may wish to reconsider where this leads. And he jumped back. What he yelled at me was, don't lay any of your Bible-thumping BS on me. And I said, who said anything about the Bible? And he said, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to kick your tail.
A full 5 months later, the sheriff's department showed up to serve David papers.
I was charged with disorderly conduct, but the kicker was the hate crime penalty enhancer that was tacked onto it. Disorderly conduct charge was like a $500 fine and a slap on the wrist. The hate crime penalty enhancer entitled me to a year in jail and $10,000 in fines.
My husband is the single breadwinner of the household, and what was our family going to do without my husband and Daddy home? It was scary.
Nobody once during this entire proceeding ever bothered to ask me if I hated the guy, which is really interesting because I wasn't motivated by hatred at all. I was actually motivated by compassion because I see where these people are ending up in these lifestyles, and it's painful for me to see that.
For the next 10 months, the Ott family wondered whether David would end up in jail. Warning against a trial in the traditionally liberal city of Madison, David's attorney settled out of court. Pleading no contest, David would have to undergo sensitivity training at the University of Wisconsin, taught by 2 lesbians.
Number one was the fact that homosexual behavior is not immoral. That was the number one premise of the conference.
In addition, David would have to perform 50 hours of community service and be on probation for 1 year. He escaped a jail sentence only at great personal cost, $7,000 in legal fees and months of uncertainty.
It's a really, really bad feeling to have your freedom hanging out in the balance like that and not knowing how it's going to end up.